This is an animation I made. And this one. And this one. What's funny is, I'm not an animator, and you don't have to be. I'm going to show you how to create these animations really fast, all inside of Unity. You will even be able to edit existing animations. I found out about this from literally watching a GDC talk, and I wanted to know how to actually do it, but it didn't tell me the exact steps to take. And I had to watch 3 more hour-long videos. Yeah. So, if you think this video is long, just know I watched 4 hours worth of videos to figure out how to do this. Let's talk about what we'll be doing in this video. First, we'll be setting up a project with all the packages that we need for it. Next, we'll be setting up a character with a control rig on it. The control rig allows us to move the character around however we want. We will then be using the control rig to overwrite existing animations. Finally, I will show you how to download this project in case you don't want to do all this stuff yourself, and teach you how to set it up and use it. This is actually called animation authoring. It's pretty cool. You can do all this stuff inside of Unity. You don't have to make animations inside of Blender, export them, import them into Unity, and do all that extra stuff. You can just make the animation inside of Unity, or edit an animation you already have. So let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to create a Unity project, import the animation rigging package, import the FBX exporter package, and import our character model. Now we will import it twice, once as a generic model, and for the second time as a humanoid model. The generic model is where we'll be doing all the editing, because you cannot edit animations on a humanoid avatar. But don't worry, I will show you how to convert generic animations to humanoids so you can do retargeting. Both my models are separated by different colors. They're the same model, I just changed the materials for both of them. So the generic one is blue and the humanoid one is orange. I also have them in separate scenes. You don't have to do this, but I like keeping them separate. Now it's time to set up animation rigging for my generic avatar, which I just plopped down into the scene. You can see it's at 0, 0. I will show you how to do one side and one side only. Reason being is because the other side is the exact same. So there's no reason for me to show you it. It would make this video run on forever. So one side it is. Alright, so getting started, we have my generic avatar in a scene. I'm going to click on him. I'm going to go to animation rigging and click bone renderer setup. This allows me to see the bones. You can also click on the bones within the scene. Now, let's get this guy set up. Animation rigging again while selecting the whitebot and click rig setup. This adds an animator and a rig builder. And you can also see there is an extra triangle. That is because it put the root bone, the actual whitebot, within the bone renderer. So if you go to bone renderer, transforms in element 0, you can click on that and press delete array element and it gets rid of it, which is nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a way to control the arms. So let's do that real quick. When we added the rig setup, it created rig 1. I'm just going to rename this to be control rig. You can see on the rig, it has a rig component. The rig component has a weight on it. The weight determines how much you want the character to follow the IK versus the animation. So I'm going to right click, create empty, and we are going to name this right arm IK. Go to add component. You can see animation rigging, and we are going to add the 2 bone IK constraint. This seems confusing, but just stick with me. First off, we're going to lock the inspector so it doesn't change if we click anything else. You can see it stays the same. We are going to click the right hand, and we are going to make that our tip. Then we are going to right click the 2 bone IK constraint and auto set up from tip transform. Boom. It auto sets up the IK for us. Now we just have to do some adjusting to make sure that everything is aligned correctly. We are going to click on the right arm IK target, and then we are going to hold control and click on the hand. Animation rigging, align transform. That just makes sure the target is in the same place as the hand. We are going to do the same thing with the hand. Control click the forearm, animation rigging, align transform. You can see it wasn't set up right because before we align transform, all the transforms are here, and when we align it, they're in the right spot. Okay, the hint is where the elbow will bend towards. So I typically just, oops, took the whole arm. I want to select hold control and pull the hint back and behind. I usually do it behind the arm, and I also do it down a little. It doesn't really matter exactly where it is. It's just where your arm would naturally bend. Now, I did the right arm. All we have to do is do it for the left arm now. To do that, you just do literally everything I just told you, but to this one. And I'll see you when that's done. Okay, now that we've got both sides set up, let's distinguish between the two of them. Whenever you click on a hint, you'll see an animation rigging window pop up. This is what it looks like when it's minimized. But when we click on it, and you can see for the hint, it uses something called the ball effector. So you can actually change this effector. You can make it any mesh you have, but they provide you with some. I like using the locator effector for the hints. Reason being is they don't take up too much on the screen. What I'm also doing is distinguishing between the left and the right side. So I'm going to select both of these. You can work with multiple at once. I know, it's awesome. And I'm going to go over to the green. Now I have the green and the red, and I can tell the difference. So if I'm like working over here, I don't want to accidentally select the wrong one. It can be confusing when they're right next to each other. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to actually set this up to test the IK. Right now what you can do is you can click play, and inside play mode you can click on it, you can try moving it around, and you can see that it follows the target. But we want to see it inside our scene view. We don't want to have to click play every time, take all that time compiling. So press Control 6. Control 6 opens up the animation window. If you don't see this, or if it doesn't work, you can go Window, Animation, Animation. It pops up a little window for you. What we want to do, we want to see this character's animation. So if we select the Y bot on the animator, we can actually add a animation controller. If I go to project and create a new animation animator controller within my assets, I can take that and drag that onto the Y bot, and now I have an animator controller. So if I go Y bot, go to animation, you can see it's still grayed out. But if we click create, it will create an animation for us and automatically assign it to the animator controller. So if I go to animator controller, double click it should open up a window, and you can see whenever it starts, it'll start playing the new animation clip. So if you want to move your IK within the scene, it doesn't work. Now since it's not grayed out, if I click preview and try moving it around again, it moves. You can see as we move it around, if we want it to reset, we can just let go of the preview and it will reset back to its default. So now we can edit and create animations for our characters within the scene view. Though, let's set up the rest of our control rig first. We now need to create IK for our legs. It's the same thing as the arms. It's a 2-bone IK, except the hint we will be placing in front of the knees at about waist height. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. The tip is also the foot, so let's do that. Now that we got the legs done, let's test to make sure that it works real quick. Let's check, click on my Y bot, click preview. Let's try moving the leg. You can see it bends towards the hint. So there's one more thing we're missing. We can try and move everything around, and you can notice the spine's not moving. We need to set up an IK for this. It doesn't use the normal 2-bone IK constraint. It uses something called a twist constraint. So it will be setting up a way to turn the person's spine and head. And we will set up more than one because we don't want to lose accuracy when we switch from animation to IK and back to animation. Let's get started setting up the spine. This one's going to be a little different. What we're going to do is we're going to create another empty game object, and we're going to name it upper spine IK. I spelled that wrong. That's fine. We're going to add 2 game objects for this, and we're going to add a component twist chain constraint. This is what we'll be doing. Unfortunately, this one does not allow for auto setup, which is kind of sad, but that's fine. We need to make sure that the upper IK constraint, the upper spine IK, is above the rest of them. The reason being is if it's not above the rest, it causes an error where these don't follow. They don't follow the body. Let's start with adding the upper spine. We'll start with the tip, head, down to the chest, just below the chest. To both of these, we're going to select both of them, click the plus, and it adds gizmos to both of these. I'm going to switch it to the circle effector. Same thing for the other one, will be the circle effector. And let's place both of them on the body. So for the head, we're going to select the head, and select the head, go to the animation rigging, align transfer. Oh, we did it the wrong way. We're going to select the upper spine IK head, and then we're going to control click the actual head. Animation rigging, align transform. And you can see we do have a circle here, but it's a little small. So let's scale that up. Let's set up for the chest. So we're going to click the chest. Click the chest. It is spine 1. Animation rigging, align transform. And we're going to make this bigger too, just bigger than the mesh. Makes it easier to select. So if I select there, super easy to select. And okay, now I have to add everything to the twist chain constraint. Let's lock it. Go to the head, drag and drop that into the tip. And for the root, we will make it the chest, just under the chest. Now let's go to the target. It will be the chest to the root, and for the head it will be the tip. All right, make sure Control S to save, and let's test it. If I go to animation, preview, and let's try turning it, you can see it turns, the arms follow right, and it turns and it follows right. All right, awesome. Let's set it up for the lower spine now. It's the same for what we just did, but with the stomach and the hip. All right, make sure that the lower spine is above the upper spine, because the lower spine influences the upper spine. Let's test to see that it works. Let me move the lower spine. And it does seem to be working. Now, if you don't feel like setting all this up, if you already set it up, I'm sorry. But I have a GitHub link to this project so you can use it yourself. I will show you how to download and set that up so that you have my project and you can just use my project for it. And I do plan on updating this project in the future to add more features to it, to the rig, like for weapons or for fingers or even eyes. So let's get into showing how to download it from GitHub and set up the project. And then I'll also show you how to edit animations yourself. All right, click my link down in the description and it should take you to my GitHub page. Inside my GitHub page, you just click on the code, download zip, and this will download my project. Let's just wait for that to finish. After it's done, have your project wherever you want it, extract to wherever you want. Once it's extracted, all you have to do is go to Unity Hub, go to add project from disk, and locate your project. Mine is Git project animation. And then you want to make sure you're in the part that has all the assets, packages, everything else. You want to be in this part. Make sure you're not back. If you back and just select this, it won't work. Just click add project and you can see it pops up right here. And opening it, you will see it takes us directly to the project. Once you're inside the project, you can see it has everything that I have created. Now, let's actually get into making animations. Inside the animation rigging documentation, you can see what we'll be doing is actually called bidirectional motion transfer. This is a form of animation authoring. This is what allows us to author animations. So we can basically take our animation and put it on all of our IK. So our IK moves to make the animation, and then we can bake it back to its own animation. If that sounds confusing, don't worry, I was confused too, but it's actually super simple. Now that we have our project set up, let's get into animation authoring and how to edit animations or create new ones. What I will be doing is showing how to edit an animation versus create our own right now. We'll just edit one. I get these animations off of Mixamo, but you can get them off wherever you want. We will click on our animation that we imported. We will check the rig, make sure it's generic. Go to animation. We will loop the time. So name the animation what you want. I will name it idle test. Click enter and then click apply. So we can't really use this right now. We need to move it outside of this package. I will click on the animation and press Ctrl D, and you can see it moves it outside of the package. Now we can do away with this little FBX package, and now we just have the animation. Let's make our way to the animation controller we created, and you can actually set this up by taking the idle test and placing it over the new animation, or you can delete it and drag and drop idle test back into it, and it will default to the animation. Now, if we go to scene and click apply, you can see that the character is moving, but the constraints are kind of holding it back. They're holding it in the T-pose still. You can see the very minute movements in it. So what we'll be doing now, we'll be baking the animation to the skeleton. So because is the default animation on our skeleton, if we make our way to the animation window, you can see the animation, and you can see as it moves. What we will then do is click on our control rig, go to rig, right click, transfer motion to constraint. This will transfer all of our motion to the IK. You can see that it's kind of straightened itself out to the default idle animation. If I click preview while on Ybot and click play, you can see it plays through the animation for us, which is actually super awesome. That means that we can actually go in and move stuff around and it will follow it. This is just the same as editing any animation inside of Unity now. What we will do is go to preview. Actually, we will go to record. Now, any changes we make in the scene will be saved to it. You can see here, we have our control rig, left arm right K, stomach, right arm, chest and head. So inside here, let's move stuff around to our liking. Let's just say I want the right arm to move up. I will take the character, I will find the right arm target position and right arm target rotation, which are right here. I will select where I want to move it and when I want to move it, and I will delete these keyframes. Just select them, drag, and click delete. Now you can see during this frame, the target doesn't move at all. So what I can do is go in and move the position, and as I move it, you can see a keyframe is made at the point in the timeline where I moved it. You can also see that the hand moves up while playing it. If you want to watch the animation back without clicking play every time, you can just click spacebar. So let's actually make this in a way. I will copy this, Control C, Control V, and you can see for this point, the target stays still over that time period. I will now rotate the hand to match where I want it to go. You can see now, as it goes out, it smooths out the rotation. This is the simplest animation we can make. We can even rotate it back and forth a little bit. Now, say we're done with this, right? This is what we want. We have to bake it back to our character. So we'll go to Control Rig, right click, and click Transfer Motion to Skeleton. This bakes it back to the animation. Just to test it now, I'll right click our Ybot and I'll go to Export to FBX. This is why we added the FBX export package, so we can do this. And I will make sure to keep animated skin mesh, and I will set the export path to whatever I want, which I'll just have in assets. Make sure it includes models and animation. We'll click export. And you can see it exports right back into our project. We'll click on this and we'll switch it to humanoid. This is how you switch your animation to humanoid. We will click apply. We'll go to animation, see that it's idle tests, and I will make it humanoid. Click loop time and click apply. Now our animation is humanoid. We'll go into here and you can see our little idle test animation. Duplicate that so it ends up back in our project, and we can actually delete this whole Ybot. Now this is a humanoid animation because we imported it on a humanoid rig. Let's go and create a scene with a humanoid avatar. We have our humanoid avatar. We will make sure it has its own animator, its own animation controller, and its own avatar. You don't need an avatar for generic, you just need it for humanoid. So on the humanoid controller, we will open this up. I will add my test humanoid animation in here. If I go to this scene now, click on Ybot, go to animation, and preview, play, you can see it does everything we just did. You can do this with any animation, and you can even create your own. To create your own, you would just use the new animation and set up your keyframes from scratch. I like to override other animations though, because it gives default movement to it. Like, say using the idle one, if I preview and click play, you can see that the rest of the body still moves, and there's small movements everywhere in the body. It's saved. But yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, just come to my Discord and ask. Link in the description. Peace.